Yeah, it's going to be a brand new year for them as well, right? So Avery Atkins, their best kickoff specialist, one of the leaders of this team, wore the number 18 uniform last year, um, is gone, right? He was a really good special teamer. He actually made a lot of tackles. And LSU's best kicker of all time was Cade York. Now, they've had plenty of good kickers. Josh Jasper would have a say. Colt David would have a say. There's a lot of people that would have a say, even Cole Tracy for the year that he was there. But Cade York is their most talented kicker, and he decides to go to the NFL. He was at the Combine this past weekend. So we'll see, right? They bring in the transfer from Notre Dame. They have Peyton Todd, who is also a talented punter coming out of North Louisiana as well. And this is something, if you are a diehard football fan and not too familiar with LSU, the last name Polian rings a bell, right? We all know Bill Polian, the famous GM of the Indianapolis Colts, right? The Peyton Manning GM. Now he's an analyst, and his son, his name is Brian Polian, and he is the special teams coordinator who came from Notre Dame. Now in Baton Rouge, it came with Brian Kelly, and he's really submersing himself with the Louisiana culture. He's going to like a bunch of the local Baton Rouge establishments. He took a photo at Mardi Gras the other day. He's pretty excited about this new venture. So, I mean, special teams is going to be a brand new unit as well going into next year. And look, if you were to say one thing about LSU football these last couple of years, special teams wasn't the issue. Greg McMahon is a very renowned special teams coordinator who spent years with the Saints. I mean, this guy really knew what he was doing. And he's now gone. He was one of Ed Orgeron's close confidants. And now you bring in Polian, who has some big shoes to fill.
Cade York hit on 15 of 18. And as Carter mentions, he moves on to the NFL. And Trey Palmer returned the most kicks last year, 18 punts, 7 kickoffs, gone to Nebraska.
Yeah.
So that's usually one of those things that gets figured out in August camp. Who's going to return punts and kickoffs? Do you have any guess on that one?
Yeah. So to me, one of the more talented return guys is a true freshman coming in named Landon Ibieta, who was a very talented returner of the ball when he was at high school in Mandeville. So that would be, a deep shot right there. I think he has a decent shot at being that guy. Chris Hilton is also a speedster. Both of those guys are a little bit lower on the depth chart than all the other receivers. So, as far as who those return guys are going to be, it's tough to say because Trey Palmer was so good. And Derek Stingley's now gone, and he was LSU's punt returner for quite some time. So I think those are two deeper sleeper names. The one thing I would not do is, and I know it's tempting because he's by far the best player on this team, but Kayshawn, right? The LSU's just overall best player. Their star wide receivers back. Got injured towards the end of this last year. I know it's tempting to make him the returner because you want to get the football in his hands as much as possible, but he's so valuable to what you do offensively. So I think those two guys, and as far as defensive backs are concerned, I could see Sage Ryan also getting back there and getting the football in his hands as well because of his speed.